What's up, everybody? Silver here with another Halo Spartan Strike Achievement Guide. This time we're doing Home Sweet Home, which is complete Operation D, so pretty straightforward. The first mission in Operation D is D1, obviously. Pretty simple concept there. But just grab this Scorpion tank, and we're just basically going to run by everybody in this part. You're just going to drive straight to the end of the level, basically. You could take out as many people as you can if you want. You don't really need to, but it's just slightly better to do that anyway. Kill as many people as possible, because then once you do have to get out right here, there are less people to kill you. Not that they really follow you or anything. I went out and grabbed that teleportation armor ability real quick. It is a good one to have. And you can see I'm probably pushing forward way too quickly here at this point. But just take your time if you would like or prefer. And you have a battle rifle and a shotgun, so you could easily take out all the grunts and crawlers with one burst of the battle rifle. And you may want to switch to the shotgun for the larger enemies. So you can see I'm just moving forward. If you do end up losing your shield like this and you're in the middle of a battle and you're about to die, you could actually teleport and they will stop shooting you because you're teleporting. And while your teleportation is expiring, your shield will start going up and fill up entirely before your teleportation runs out. So that is awesome. That's a good way to get your shield back up if you're in a tough spot. So you can see this is the last section. You have to kill all of the contacts on your radar that are a large contact. You can see there's a bunch of the big red diamond contacts on my radar right now. So you just kill all those people. And some, unfortunately, do keep spawning in, which is annoying, but not too bad. Just take your time, and it should be pretty easy. A way to make the game easier if you're having trouble is to use a damage booster or a shield booster. The damage booster, you can only have one on at a time, which is unfortunate, but not too bad. You can see I'm trying to kill those people with a frag grenade, but I accidentally threw a firebomb, so the elite just simply walked out of the firebomb. But anyway, the damage booster obviously increases the damage of your weapons, and also the shield booster, if you choose that one, increases the rate at which your shield recharges. So once it starts charging up, it'll charge up faster. So that is that level, pretty much. Pretty quick level, since you could just blow through most of it in the Scorpion tank. But here we are at D2, which is an annoying level to me on mobile, because I'm not great at mobile, and the mobile controls aren't as great. So combine those two things, and it's not fun, since all these enemies could just destroy the door. But anyway, move up here. You could see you could use the bubble shield to shield the enemies, or not the enemies, shield your allies there. You need to have them survive. You're protecting these 3 scientists at this point. I switched out in the beginning my weapons for a battle rifle and the SMGs. Those will come into play in a little bit. You can see I'm not really shooting that many of the crawlers. I'm just standing behind these crates, and the scientists actually do a really good job of killing most of the enemies themselves. So you could just hang here, and the crawlers will kind of be drawn to you and ignore the scientists. And you could kind of act as bait for them, and the scientists will do most of the heavy lifting. Obviously, if the crawlers get right up on you, you could just smack them. And that way you can conserve some BR ammo, because the BR is the easiest way to kill these enemies and the future enemies, because it's mostly just going to be grunts and crawlers and some watchers, as well as some focus turrets, but we're going to use the grenades for those focus turrets. So the scientists have moved in. Now we gotta hold out and guard the door itself. This part is more annoying. There's suicide grunts. You can see I switched to my SMGs, but I probably should have stuck with the BR. You can see I've switched back to that right now. Just use that as long as you can until you run out of ammo, then grab a suppressor in exchange for it, and use the SMGs against the grunts. But just kill all these grunts. When you do run out of ammo for the BR, you want to switch to your SMGs to take out the grunts, but you want to use a suppressor. Pick up a suppressor instead of having your empty BR, and use suppressors against the Promethean enemies. Except for the turrets, obviously just use grenades against the turrets. The frag grenades will kill them more quickly. I'm just using the firebomb to get my stupid assault op up. You can see I got it right there. But you could see I also use that bubble shield technique to defend the door. And now I'm just moving along. And all of these enemies are dead mostly. The time is about to run out. And I'm going to run down to the starting point of the level. And we're pretty much just going to avoid everything. We're supposed to be up there. I think that's what the level's designed for. We're supposed to stand up there and fight all the enemies that come as reinforcements and survive for a little while. But we're just going to hang down here. There are those 2 knights that spawn down here. Grab some BR ammo and SMGs, because why not? And then we're just going to stand here in this corner. And I skipped ahead in the video because you didn't have to see me stand there for, you know, a minute and a half or so. So now we're moving back up, and you do need to be aware that you cannot do this, what I'm about to try to do. You cannot run up to the door and end the level. You have to kill all the enemies in this level, in this upper area before the level ends. So do not do that. That was an example of what not to do. You do want to pick off all these enemies, though. So as you move your way up, just slowly pick off the enemies. And you can always run back to the beginning of the level if you're getting pushed back or overwhelmed. But that's the end of that level, boys and girls. And we're on to the next one. I believe they call this E3. No, D3. I'm getting ahead of myself. So this mission, you are in a kestrel the whole time. And we're going to do another kind of thing that we did last time. But it's going to be a little bit easier because we're in a kestrel. So you want to just blow through these doors as fast as possible. And that way you don't have to fight as many enemies. And it's okay if you want to fight the enemies. It's totally fine. Obviously, you have a lot of firepower with this kestrel, so it wouldn't be too hard to just sit back and kill all the enemies as they spawn. But you can see I am trying to shoot, and when I am shooting the enemies, I am trying to get the door behind them, so if I miss the enemies, it hits the door at least, and that continues my progress towards getting through these doors. So there's 3 doors you have to blast through. We're on our way to the 3rd. There's a couple ghosts ahead in this part. Nothing too crazy. There are a couple spare kestrels. You could see one on the left. So if yours does blow up, you could grab a fresh one, or a fairly fresh one, because it's probably taken some collateral damage at some point. And the other one is before this section, obviously. We're at the end of the level here now, but you're tasked with holding out again, and we're just going to go all the way back to the beginning of the level. And you could actually go all the way back to the beginning of the level and just sit there. All these enemies will still be here. That you ran by, but you could just blow past them and go to the beginning of the level and be untouched. And then when the time is about to run out, you could just drive back here and get out, and you're at the end of the level. And you don't have to kill all the enemies in the last area like we did the last mission, so that's nice. You could just bail and go to the nav point right at that doorway and go in the building, and you are set, and that is it for that one. So the next level, and obviously I skipped ahead a good amount of time in that last level because you didn't have to see me sit at the beginning of the level for a long time, like 2 minutes or whatever. But anyway, this next part, this next level, just kill all these enemies. You can see I'm kind of not doing it that not very neatly, I should say. It's kind of sloppy. But just push through here. This is really the toughest part you're going to have to deal with is right in the beginning here, so that's nice. If you do end up dying for whatever reason, you could always just restart. It's right in the beginning, so it's not like you lost a lot of progress. But you do kind of want to play bullfighter with this Wraith. You want to get in front of it, and you could see it charged me when I got within a certain distance of it, in front of it. And I just sidestepped it and went to one of those 2 points on the on each fin. There's a boarding point. You could see by the circle on the ground when I boarded it. And just hit the action button when it gets near you, and when you hit that circle, and you can board it. And now I have myself a nice Wraith, and I could just kill all these enemies very, very easily. And so to finish this level, we need to activate whatever we're activating in these 3 doors. So I'm just clearing out the area first. And just take your time. It's nothing too crazy. And there's also that spare Wraith behind us up in the last section. You can see we drove by, and I'm going to use that in a little bit because this Wraith is not looking so good. Looks like it might have come down with some Ebola or something. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. I'm not even sure Wraiths can get sick. They're kind of a machine, but I don't know. That'd be interesting to see a Terminator to get like some skin disease or something. Because obviously it's a machine, but on the outside it's totally human flesh, you know? That'd be interesting. But anyway, like a leper Terminator or something. But you can see I activated that one thing down there. And now I'm going to be killing all these reinforcements very easily. I'm kind of just shooting down there below, and I'm running into these enemies that they spawn up top here. So I'm kind of splattering enemies up top while I'm shooting enemies down at the bottom. So that kind of makes it go by a little bit quicker. But then once they're done, I just go into that doorway, and I'm going to exchange for this Wraith because it looks a little better. And you could just kill all these enemies up here. You could have gone to this building before when we cleared it out the first time, so not sure why I didn't do that. But I mean, you could do it in reverse if you want, or the right way. I kind of did it in reverse because I'm stupid, but then you probably wouldn't have to fight these people. You could probably just drive right by them. But I, unfortunately, have to deal with them right now, so that's what I do. That's what I'll have to do. So it looks like we're almost done. There we go. We're out of the Wraith. Walking on in. Oh, there's a proximity mine. And we're done activating these 3. I don't even know what they are. And now we just have to go back to where we finished the level, or started the level rather, to finish the level. Go back to the beginning. This time you're supposed to go back to the beginning, not just being a cheap guy and going all the way to the beginning of the level to avoid a firefight instance. But just use your Wraith as long as you can. Unfortunately, you can't go any further than this. So I'm just going to pick off a couple enemies with my turret, and then I'm going to bail. And this is the end of the level and the beginning of the level. So there are some Prometheans up here. You could try to make a run for it. I'm kind of going to do a little running for it. I have a grenade launcher that I picked up earlier to make things a little bit easier, but it's not 100% necessary. I could see that I shot that grenade and it actually went down into the background. I didn't know that I could actually throw things down there, so that's interesting. But this is the end of the level. You can see I'm kind of playing with my enemies here. And then I decided, oh no, one spawned right next to me, I'm leaving. Because I was going for that Spartan or Assault Ops mission, which is to kill like 10 enemies with a grenade launcher, so I was going for that while doing this. So that's why I took a little extra time to get a couple more kills, but I advise not doing that if you're purely just going for the completion of these levels. So this level is pretty easy. You can see I grabbed the binary rifle, and this whole level is full of just focus turrets, binary rifle wielding crawlers, and watchers. So you need to kill all the watchers as you go through this section. And you can see on your radar the large contacts are the watchers. So keep an eye on that so you can locate them all quickly and easily. And you don't have to kill anything else yet, or at all actually, the whole level. But you do want to kill the occasional crawler to refill your binary rifle ammo. And then you go in here, make sure you have killed all the watchers before you get here, or it won't start the next section. And kill these Covenant. There's just a handful of Covenant just at the top there. And there's some BR ammo in here, which is nice. And I'm actually going to skip ahead. Just go to this one point, and you could stand here the entire time, and nobody will come hurt you. A couple people may come, actually. I lied, but it's pretty safe. You could easily just kill people as they come at you. There's only going to be like three or four people that come at you. That focus turret you saw I killed just there is the only turret that could hurt you in this section. There's like 9 turrets. That's the only one you need to kill. You can see I just killed it quickly with a frag grenade. I also skipped ahead a lot because that's a long section where you're just sitting there, and you don't need to watch me sit there and do nothing. I did kill like 3 or 4 enemies, but they came over a period of like 2 minutes, so that's nothing too crazy. Pretty easy to handle that. So right at the beginning of this level, just head up to the right and grab a battle rifle. There's, in effect, infinite ammo there. Whenever you're running low, just go over there and you will get yourself a full battle rifle again. It will never run out of ammo, which is great. You could kill all of the enemies in the beginning here with just one shot, so it's pretty easy. Just run from scientist to scientist as they need you. There will be a nav point indicating which scientist you need to go to. You got to protect them as they do whatever they're doing. Doing whatever their eggheads want to do. Am I right? Who knows what I'm talking about in Spartan Ops and Halo 4 and the overuse of the word eggheads. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, you can see every time I have to go to a new scientist, I pretty much just go refill my ammo to be safe. Now I got to go to another Spartan or another scientist, so I'm refilling, going over here, and I'm using my sprint just to speed it up a little bit. obviously it's kind of more fun to play than watch, so I'm trying to make you not have to watch as much. As such, I sped up the footage by 25%, and now I'm using sprint. So I'm going over here just to refill my ammo, but oh, no, I do need to go over there. I was in the right spot all along. Oh boy, taking some damage. So the jackals you could kill in one hit if you don't hit their shield, if you're behind them or something, or they just don't have their shield up, but otherwise it takes 2 hits. The regular elites, it takes 2 hits with the battle rifle. A red elite will take 3 hits. And then Promethean, same thing. The normal ones will take 2 hits. The red ones with scatter shots will take 3 hits. Those brute shots will take 3 or 4 hits, I think. Probably 4. But you want to make sure when you come down here again for the second time, you keep an eye on that brute chieftain. He usually comes out of the right warp thing, wormhole, portal, like he did this time. I've seen him one time come from the left, though, so it's not 100%, but most of the time it is from the right. So keep an eye out for him, and you can see I just killed that invisible sword-wielding elite. There's one that will come to you after you deal with that brute chieftain, and he always comes at you when you're in that upper left section. Now we're in the upper right section. Refilled some ammo. Pretty straightforward. Most of the enemies are one-hit kills with the battle rifle, so it's fairly easy to just stand still and shoot them as they come at you. So refilled again. Going back over here. And now things get interesting with all the Promethean knights coming at you. Not too interesting, though. Don't get too excited. But just keep doing what you've been doing. Go help out all the scientists. Make sure they're not getting smacked by somebody. And then keep going back to this battle rifle ammo. It's pretty repetitive and self-explanatory at this point. Though the enemies do get a little more difficult as you go on, obviously. Like any, game. Some gameplay where you start off easy, finish hard. Is that what she said or something? I don't know. But anyway, you can see this guy's hacking at my scientist over here while he's hacking at the computer. So many levels here, so many jokes I could make and puns, but I can't think of them. I have all the components, though. This is something you should note. You can see here I sprinted towards this panel that I have to activate, and you actually can't activate, you cannot use your action button when you're sprinting, or using any armor ability for that matter. So that you can't get in a vehicle or activate a panel or something, so you do just want to hang out and not use armor abilities if you're trying to activate something. But you just activate those 3 points, and then the center point will queue up, and you got to hit that and put the conduit in there, and that is it for Operation D. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Click like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the last one, Operation E.